Wow. Blake Lively is trying to get Justin Baldoni and his lawyer to shut up after some new footage.
So I want to cut through some of the noise here. Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment.
The Super Bowl was this year, and, Blake Lively decided to go. She wanted to leave the kids at home and just, have fun with the girlies.
Blake Lively's legal battle with Justin Baldoni has taken a shocking turn as new revelations expose layers of hypocrisy. Recently surfaced documents and revisited past statements challenge Blake's public image of integrity and transparency. As scrutiny intensifies, her attempts to control the narrative seem to be backfiring, leaving her entangled in contradictions, accusations, and mounting public backlash. Fans and critics alike are questioning whether her carefully crafted persona is beginning to unravel.
Blake Lively suggested Justin be his trainer was Ryan and Blake's clear friend and celebrity trainer who was clearly aligned to them. So now this whole fat shaming thing that started the whole argument from Ryan came from this guy, this trainer who's clearly closer to them and wants them, showing them off, pinning them all over his Instagram to get other celebrities so he can get more people to join his gym or whatever. This is where it all came from, through hearsay, through that. And then just to focus a second, again, allegedly, if this guy is the one who did it, and you're telling me your client now, Justin, who's become your training, is talking to you about concerns or whatever. Who knows how he asked it, or if he was just brought it up in passing, like, oh man, I got this big lifting scene that I got to do.
Blake Lively has long been praised for her outspoken stance on various issues, but her recent actions in this legal battle are sparking controversy. Critics are calling out the apparent double standards, questioning whether her carefully crafted image is finally crumbling. Ryan Reynolds' involvement only intensifies the scrutiny, fueling speculation that Hollywood's golden couple is facing long overdue consequences for playing both sides. So, how did Blake's reputation unravel so quickly? Let's break down the shocking hypocrisy now coming to light.
Either way, Blake Lively did a fantastic speech a couple years ago in which I absolutely love, and a lot of people were touched by it for sure. Blake Lively decided to wear Balenciaga.
What is this, honey?
Also forgot to mention, another one of Balenciaga's backlash was because they had the Balenciaga bag on top of court documents which were about CP. And a lot of people were just like, this is just strange. And it is just strange behavior. It doesn't matter how people try and flip it, bop it, twerk it, or turn it around, babes. This is strange behavior. Anyway, so she went to the Super Bowl, she wore the red, and she was basically like a walking highlighter, walking promotion from them. Is she like an ambassador? No, she's not. I did a Google search and she's not. An ambassador would be like Kim Kardashian, who constantly was shoving Balenciaga down our throats and showing campaigns that she did with them.
In a surprising turn, Blake Lively returned to court to confront the mounting backlash surrounding her lawsuit. However, this move wasn't just about legal proceedings. It was a desperate attempt to salvage her crumbling reputation. She faces growing accusations of playing the victim while engaging in the very behavior she once condemned. Fans have been quick to highlight the glaring contradictions between her courtroom statements and past public stances, leaving many to wonder if she's shifting her narrative to fit the situation.
They don't call her, I don't call her Blake No Receipts Lively for nothing. The judge in New York overseeing the consolidated federal case has already granted a protective order to the Nepo baby who filed the request, but that's not enough for her. So now, the wife of Scarlett Johansson's ex-husband has gone back to court and is asking for, give me. Delulu Lively is asking for a stronger protective order than the court's model one they already received. Depositions and discovery are to come, and Taylor Swift. And others, but Taylor Swift. So you see, it's not about her. No. Pinocchio Princess has a big heart and is looking out for others. A reminder, Baldoni and his team had previously agreed to a protective order. The judge, Judge Lyman, thought it was a good idea because of how many high-profile people were involved, so we shall see if he is open to this new, much stronger protective order. Until then, Perez Hilton here at your service.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds allegedly tried to silence Justin Baldoni after a damning clip surfaced, exposing exchanges that cast Blake in an unflattering light. Many saw this attempt to suppress the footage as an effort to conceal the truth, rather than face it, further fueling accusations of hypocrisy. Critics argue that if Blake truly stood by her claims, she wouldn't need to silence opposition, a tactic she has openly condemned in past controversies, making her actions even more questionable.
Wow. Blake Lively is trying to get Justin Baldoni and his lawyer to shut up after some new footage, very revealing footage, was released yesterday. Is this her telling us a little something? Is she guilty? Or no? The Justin Baldoni and the Blake Lively situation has just gotten very messy over some time. Let's just be completely real. And I'm still questioning a lot of things that have been strewn out for the whole court of public opinion to see with their own eyes. And let's be real. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more stuff here very, very soon. But nonetheless, yesterday, Justin Baldoni's lawyer put out some video.
One of the most shocking revelations is the resurfacing of allegations that Blake Lively engaged in fat-shaming on set, directly contradicting her long-standing advocacy for body positivity. Court documents reveal instances of her alleged insensitive comments, sparking outrage among fans who once admired her for promoting a healthy self-image. This revelation has severely damaged her credibility, leaving many to question whether her carefully crafted public persona is nothing more than a well-maintained facade.
Justin Baldoni's team refiled their complaint, and with it included a new timeline featuring a lot of new evidence. And the more I read it, the angrier I'm getting at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. Justin Baldoni's team went and did it. They made the website. You can all go check it out now. thelawstudioinfo.com, where you can get the amended complaint and the timeline of relevant events. It seems like the start of what they promised us. It's not every text, like they said, but it's a lot of new texts that really do make Blake look really bad. And that's really what I wanted to focus on first. I want to focus on what Blake alleged, and then I want to go through these new timeline of events to sort of show, well, what do we have from Justin to sort of dispute it?
Blake Lively's case has become a prime example of Hollywood hypocrisy. While she has publicly championed honesty and transparency, her actions in this lawsuit tell a different story. From alleged behind-the-scenes manipulation to legal tactics, designed to deflect responsibility, it's clear her behavior doesn't align with the values she claims to uphold. Many insiders believe Blake's downfall isn't just about this lawsuit. It's the result of years of unchecked privilege finally catching up to her, exposing cracks in her carefully curated image.
So I want to cut through some of the noise here. Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment. Baldoni's hitting back with a $400 million lawsuit. And now Lively says her kids are traumatized. She's afraid to leave her home. And Ryan Reynolds, Hollywood's favorite wise ass, is mentally and physically affected by the whole mess. You want to know what I see? I see another Hollywood disaster where justice takes a back seat to spin, strategy, and more nonsense narrative control. We saw this before. And if you think this is just about two celebrities fighting it out, you're missing the bigger picture. This is about how the media and Hollywood's elites weaponize accusations, manipulate public perception, and decide who gets canceled and who doesn't. Because he doesn't look that traumatized to me to be cracking jokes on Saturday Night Live. Or maybe he's a better actor than I thought. So look, I spent a lot of time around Hollywood. The first 15 years of my career, I spent providing close protection and security consulting for A-list actors, musicians, rock stars, Hollywood executives. I've worked behind the scenes at private events. I've been inside their homes. I've slept in their homes. I've been on tour with some of the big names in entertainment. And I've seen firsthand how the industry works. The power plays, the manipulation. I've heard all the phone calls. The deals that never made it into the headlines. Nobody's closer than the celebrity bodyguard.
Social media has been quick to call out Blake Lively, resurfacing past interviews that starkly contrast her current actions. Clips show her condemning dishonesty and manipulation, values she now stands accused of violating. Fans are highlighting the hypocrisy, pointing out how her words about integrity and respect no longer align with her behavior. The backlash has been swift and relentless, with many accusing her of talking the talk but failing to walk the walk.
The Super Bowl was this year, and, Blake Lively decided to go. She wanted to leave the kids at home and just, have fun with the girlies. And she did that alongside her best friend, Taylor Swift, who was there to obviously support her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. His family was there. Celebrities were there because obviously it's like one of the biggest nights in sports. And Ice Spice was there, Lana Del Rey was there, and a bunch of other celebrities. Blake Lively decided to wear Adidas x Balenciaga. I know Americans say Adidas. I'm British, so I'm just going to say Adidas. But yeah, Adidas x Balenciaga, and decided to basically be a walking campaign for them because it was like the brightest shade of red. And of course, people are going to wonder like, oh my God, what's she wearing? What's she wearing? Who designed this? I mean, obviously it has the 3 stripes, but people want to know more about the outfit, especially because like the people were more concerned about the outfit more than the actual like history here. But hey, I guess like the boots were like attached to the tracksuit. They designed it in a way where it was like very innovative.
While Blake Lively faces intense criticism, Ryan Reynolds hasn't escaped scrutiny either. His public defense of Blake has raised eyebrows, with some arguing that his support has shifted from protective to enabling. As more details emerge about his own alleged outbursts behind the scenes, his involvement is only adding fuel to the fire. Instead of helping, Ryan's actions appear to be dragging both of them down even further.
He also did some ha-ha, he in the last Deadpool movie. Remember Nice Pool? I wouldn't be doing that if that were my wife, but I'm not married to the plantation princess. He is, and she's got a Ryan Reynolds problem. And she knows it. A source close to the soon-to-be former actress tells People magazine, whom I find to be very credible, quote, Blake felt a bit anxious about attending the SNL anniversary. She still thought it was the perfect opportunity to ease back into the spotlight. They had many friends attending, and as soon as they arrived,
new court documents reveal contradictions in Blake Lively's case, with emails and internal communications suggesting she consented to scenes she now deems inappropriate. What began as a legal battle has turned into a full-blown credibility crisis, leaving Blake struggling to defend her narrative as she quickly loses ground.
Following the court documents released between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. They've got these pre-trial documents that have been going back and forth. Some might read them as very hypocritical, as Blake Lively's side is trying to get a gag order, a protective order against Justin Baldoni so that he doesn't share the evidence against her in their upcoming court battle. Well, since the court date is set for over a year from now, I think their plan is to let the public know, hey, here's what we got. This is what we'll be sharing. This is just what happened. Of course, this coming after Blake Lively colluded with the New York Times to get her side out there with her evidence. So the question is, will this evidence by Justin Baldoni be exposed today or this weekend before the Monday court hearing? Maybe they say, well, on Monday, the judge might decide we're not allowed to talk at all.
While Blake Lively's legal troubles dominate headlines, industry insiders claim this behavior isn't new. Stories of past onset conflicts are resurfacing, with colleagues describing her as difficult and controlling. These revelations suggest her current issues aren't an isolated incident, but rather a long-standing pattern of behavior that is finally being exposed.
After everything that has gone down, from the It Ends With Us promo to these lawsuits coming out back to back from Blake Lively and then from her co-star Justin Baldoni, I had to hop on this. And here we are now, hopping on the wave, talking about Miss Blake Lively. But before we get into this very, very, very lengthy video. Let's first start off with a little bit of positivity as always. Today's quote of the day is, "I free myself from all destructive thoughts." Today's verse of the day is Hosea chapter 10, verse 12, and it reads, "Sow righteousness for yourselves. Reap the fruit of unfailing love, and break up your unplowed ground. For it is time to seek the Lord until he comes and showers his righteousness on you." And without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video. And it honestly started leading people to believe that Leighton was the problem versus Blake, just because Leighton was more laid back and didn't care to be all up in the spotlight. And that gets into another reason as to why people believe that the two didn't like each other, and that was the unequal spotlight. So Blake often got more media attention due to her constantly being on red carpets, having a more bubbly personality, and just personally putting herself out there. It was clear she loved the attention. She loved the spotlight. And then you had Leighton, who went to far less public appearances and overall just stayed out of the limelight.
Blake Lively's lawsuit is raising eyebrows, with many questioning how someone who champions transparency can be caught making secret deals and filing contradictory lawsuits. The inconsistency isn't just a legal issue. It's leaving fans disillusioned, as the gap between her public stance and private actions becomes impossible to ignore.
So they got the story killed on the basis that whatever was being circulated was not real. It was not authentic. They try to spin this in the amendment, try to spin them saying we got this killed as a huge aha. And here's the language that they use. Less than 1 week later, they bragged about how they had shut down stories regarding HR complaints on set. Miss Nathan remarked that this went so well, it was genius, so okay, we have 4 majors standing down on the HR complaint. Yeah, it wasn't real. That's her job, is to get things debunked when they are not true. And so for them to then try to spin it to us like something was wrong here is completely ridiculous. It is totally ridiculous. Okay, now before we get into Isabel Ferrer, because I really want to point something out here that I find to be extremely creepy about her relationship with her and how I think she purposefully put her in her, in her web.
He was just dropped from his talent agency. I think you guys might be underestimating the seriousness of these allegations, and I don't think this is all a PR stunt. I hope that you actually read the 80-page complaint and look at the images of the text messages and the allegations of what he and the 2 owners did to her ongoing, even after they had several meetings with Ryan Reynolds present, and they wouldn't stop.
Blake Lively's hypocrisy has become more than just a controversy. It's now the core of a legal and PR disaster threatening to shatter her carefully crafted image. With accusations of fat-shaming, contradictory court documents, and attempts to silence her opponent, Blake's once flawless reputation is rapidly crumbling, leaving her credibility in serious jeopardy.
In the special operations world, there were nights with no sleep, missions that stretched for days, and no room for mistakes. Coffee was serious, and it kept us sharp, locked in, and ready to move. And let me tell you something, I still take it seriously. And that's why Merkava Coffee, strong, no nonsense, battle-tested, no fluff, no gimmicks, just good, bold coffee for the people who need to be at their best. And if you start your day like I do, like it's a mission, you know why this matters. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a triple order and help keep the lights on and support the Aaron Cohen Show. Appreciate you guys. Now I want to talk about the court versus public opinion.
As more evidence emerges and fans expose the double standards, it's clear that playing both sides is backfiring. Ryan Reynolds' involvement has only added to the chaos, leaving Hollywood's golden couple entangled in the biggest scandal of their careers, with their carefully crafted public image hanging by a thread.
That Justin is innocent as far as that goes. And of course, when you have that out in the court of public opinion, it's very easy for people to sway and go, well, wait a second. Well, if he's not lying about this, if she was incorrect about this, could she be incorrect about a lot of other things as well? And I think this is the main reason why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are now hitting his lawyer and Justin Baldoni with a gag order. So basically, they're trying to snuff them out. They are trying to get them to stay quiet.
The real question isn't just whether Blake can win the lawsuit, it's whether she can salvage her reputation. With each new revelation, the road to redemption grows steeper, making it increasingly difficult for her to regain the trust she's quickly losing.